Hello everybody. Welcome back to another Gunplot episode video. Alright, so I'll try to keep things quick, trying to build these kits faster and trying to make these videos faster, shorter, right? So yeah, this is the high grade Universal Century 1 to 144 scale gun tank. Uh, I I didn't really keep track, but I think I only spent like maybe 2 3 hours on this one, and I honestly half the time was on trying to get the pieces to fit. Here you can see the first 20 minutes, I got like part of this track going on. Okay, and then what? In the next 20 minutes, I actually got further. I got the second track done, and these two, I didn't get them. I didn't build it yet because that means I didn't get rid of the nub marks. But I guess I went too fast and I broke one of these pegs. All right, that's a little unfortunate, but luckily already got the Tamiya extra thin cement from the same order as this kit actually from USA Gundam store, so definitely came in clutch. So here's just a close-up shot. So I was able to repair it. I just held it down. I checked online. They said hold it down for 30 seconds, and then it took a little bit longer for the next 20 minutes. With like the gluing and painting and stuff, that's not counted in these 20-minute sessions because it would take way more. Uh, so yeah, all I did was just remove the nub marks and get started on this. So this, I guess sometimes I do it fast and slow, but like I spend way too much time on the nub marks, unfortunately. And then this one, so these two pieces, the problem is it would not fit inside the slot over here. I can't the opening. So what I end up doing is use my hobby knife and just started slicing away. And for this one, I sliced too much, so it just falls out completely. This one, I just slice. So I made sure to slice just a tiny amount at a time. Keep on trying to fit it, and it finally fit in. And I tried like tapping on it to see if it fall out or not. It did not. But this one, as soon as you put in, it falls right out. And you can see I didn't even remove the nut mark completely, but like who cares, right? Yeah. So I did end up using the tweezer and the extra thin cement. Yo, the SPIAE tool set. It said it's supposed to have a straight tweezer and an angle tweezer. When I checked, I have two angle tweezers. That's unfortunate. I don't know if I need a straight tweezer, but uh, there's like a million tweezers on Amazon anyway, or I can buy, right. There's so many tools, so maybe I'll get more tools. But for now, two angle tweezers perfectly fine. I don't know if what's the difference between angled and straight tweezer. I don't know. But yeah, I glued this part right onto the side over there, and also I did went ahead and panel aligned the things. And what's the difference? I guess nothing. Oh, right, the tracks. There's no way. It took me 20 minutes to build that. Oh, dear Lord. Yeah, I definitely slowed down over there. But I also went ahead and did some panel lining. So I just put in the tracks, and then 20 minutes, I couldn't even finish an arm, unfortunately. And then I finished this arm and started the second arm. You can see my mouse in the background over there. Here's my panel liner marker. People are saying this is not even good. Uh, I think it's perfectly fine. The only problem is this is a 005, and some of these spots it's way too small, and it comes off a little thick. I mean, I don't mind it being thick, but some spots like these parts, you kind of have to like jam it in, and it doesn't color all the way. So if it was 003, definitely be better. So in the future, I might get 003, or maybe I'll try to get the steady water-based panel liner, or the Tamiya, was it lacquer or some kind of solvent panel liner fluid. So you have to be careful with those ones because if you put it on the bare plastic, it'll damage it, make it brittle and stuff. Right, on assembled pieces. If it's not assembled, you could do it perfectly fine. From the video I saw, You could pour it all over it, it won't break it. But as soon as you assemble it, especially near any joints, it would completely destroy it unless you top coat it first. So I did order the Tamiya brown panel liner, but later on I'll probably just get the steady acrylic ones. So that'll be much safer, should be in theory. And then I did finish the second arm. Minor panel lining. There was some panel line option inside the shoulder joint here, but when I put it in, it completely hit it, so I just ignored it. And you're supposed to panel line all these little things for the treads, but forget it. I'm not doing that. That's way too much work. And I was able to build a torso over here. So yeah, I mean, this one is a little, yeah, it's a lot more simple because, it's like, it's just the arm and the torso and the tracks. I guess the hardest part was the wheels, maybe. Yeah, definitely I'm trying to speed up on the nubs. I think I mentioned this the Gyogu video of just trying to do like 2 swipes or maybe 4 swipes maximum. And then at this point I'm basically done. And I'm like contemplating when do I start building the head. I'm supposed to build the head already, but I want to save it for later because I want to paint it. So, and then here's the uh, backpack or whatever and the guns. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do this, but I end up trimming this area, like at least definitely clean this area up, but I ended up trimming this part off as well. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do that or not, because I think you're supposed to leave it so it fits, aligns perfectly, but whatever. And then here's the little pilot. I believe I mean, it could be Ryo Jose or Hayato. I forgot his last name. Was it Hayato Kobayashi? I don't even know. And then Kai Shidan. I definitely know his first name is Hayato. I have no idea what his last name is. I forgot. But yeah. So here's the little pilot dude. It could be either three of them. So I tried my best to make it somewhat similar. There's a little red warning lamp, and you can see I got red paint all over the place. I tried to remove it with the hobby knife, and that kind of just it removed the paint, but also scuffed it up. So probably not the greatest. Probably should have tried to paint the chair too. And you can see the yellow and the white mark, the paint marker got on a little bit on the chair, a little bit unfortunately, and the black over here got a little bit on the helmet, but whatever. So yeah, it's not perfect. Probably should have a little white over there, and it would be easier with the paintbrushes maybe, but it's like I don't want to set up all this thinning and like drops of paint and waters and then just for like this tiny amount of paint. Yeah. So I think for now, paint markers is perfectly fine for these tiny little details for like, just this red splotch. Like imagine you have to wash your paintbrush just to paint a little helmet here and little spots over here for white and then little spots for black and then red. Like you're constantly thinning the paints and washing it, cleaning with water and stuff like that. Yeah, with the paint markers is a lot more simple. And here's the panel liner as well. So I try to clean it up with the cotton bud, but it's probably too dirty and stuff, so you can definitely see smudges. But if you're trying to go for a wetter look, that's actually perfectly fine. And finished it. So like I said, I probably only took me total 2 to 3 hours plus the yeah, especially with the paint and the gluing, probably 3 to 4 hours actually. But yeah, and I believe I finished all the panel lining except for the tracks. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not sure if the panel lines seep through or is just a gap. So definitely these older kits have massive seam lines everywhere and gaps like you can't even like you'd have to remove the pegs and then just use the plastic cement to fuse them together. It's not necessary if you're just snap building, but if you want to paint it, you obviously want to glue it together because you don't want these huge, humongous gaps. Because if you paint it, it's going to be nasty looking. Or another way to do it is instead of taking it apart, it might be too hard to take it apart by now, but you could just put some plastic cement on top, and then it should flow into the gaps and like act as a gap sealer, and then you just shave off the excess with the sandpaper and then paint it. Right, you definitely have to paint it once you glue it together. The rest of it is pretty much okay, but the cannon's definitely really noticeable. And you're supposed to do these panel lines, but like, how do you do it inside the inside barrels? So I don't want to do that because it's like the outside barrel, fine, but the inside barrel is gonna be tough. And I don't know. I mean, I guess the main thing is when you look from a distance, all you care about is the outside barrel, right? It doesn't matter if you can't see the inside barrel panel liner because of the shadows and stuff. You can't even see it anyway, period. So I might go back and panel line the outside circle, though, like around the gun barrels over here. Maybe. I don't know. There isn't really much articulation for this kit, and all you can do is raise the arms down and the cannons up and down, pretty much. And the back view, I don't know if you paint this whole thing, how are you gonna get inside those gaps, right? Definitely, it's not gonna work with a paint marker, but for the paintbrush, it could work. Yeah. I was thinking I should just paint these barrels metallic silver actually. But again, like I said, it's gonna look these actually fine, but then these though will be grays, but I'd have to glue it together and do the gap sealing and sanding and stuff. I don't know. That's something I could consider in the future, right? And then my Operation V is complete. This is the RX-78 Gundam Beyond Global version. That's the RX-75 Guntank. That's the RX-77 Gun Cannon Revive version. So not only this one is the original high grade Universal Century version. I don't know. Oh, I didn't paint it yet, but I did went ahead after taking this picture, glue this scope piece into the scope so it doesn't fall out. Like this one is perfectly secure, but this one keeps on falling out. I end up using the plastic cement to glue it in, which I said I was going to do, but I completely forgot. I mean, from a distance, the pilot looks perfectly fine. You don't even notice that red thing. That was probably unnecessary, but the pilot looks great. The metallic paint was probably not necessary though. It is extra shiny though, so I don't know. Yeah, this one looks kind of out of place, but because it's more like more highly detailed and stuff. Yeah, so this is from 25 years old kit. This is like I think for 15 or something like that, and this one is more recent. Well, actually, these both are more recent, but I think this is slightly more recent. And before and after, the head Vulcans, and here's the head Vulcans. I painted it yellow, and it did a slightly different pose. And here you go. Oh wow! I didn't even notice. See, when I zoom out, I don't even notice. When you zoom in, geez, I got the extra paint everywhere. I should go back and clean that up, shouldn't I? I don't know. Honestly, it's not even noticeable unless you have a magnifying glass. So yeah, it yeah, it might be easier to just paint it with white paint, but then it's not gonna match the outside. So I don't. It's because I with the excess paint, I try to use the Q-tip, but like if I rub it in here, it might smudge into that, and if I do the hobby knife like before, it might scratch it up. So I'll probably just leave it. It's not even noticeable unless you use a micro magnifying glass anyway. All right, so yeah, there you go. The gun tank is complete. It didn't take me too long to do the build. Hopefully I can build faster and faster, but not too fast because I might end up breaking the kits again. But I think it's just because these older kits are more fragile. And the video is still a little bit long, but all right. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.